Hello parents and welcome back to Parent Shift, a place where we speak about conscious parenting. The title of today's video might have surprised you or attracted you, but true, yes, this is that many parents have magical thinking. It's almost as if they are living the fantasy, and this fantasy is almost akin to what usually children have in that age group of 3 to 6. They think that magically results will happen, magically things will change, magically adults will be able to do things, etc. Now, when I talk to parents several times, these are the kind of things that I hear from them. Children will themselves learn over a period of time. We don't have to chase. A very big misplacement of ideas in this. How will children learn themselves? It's very, if you're going to let the child learn accidentally, then there is no design, there is no structure, the child is learning just about anything, and this is where the child also learns bad behaviors, bad reasoning. The child not just needs to learn, it needs to learn the why, the how much, and so many others. Learning is structured. If you think that the child will learn themselves over a period of time, it's magical thinking. Children will figure it out as they go along. Again, magical thinking. How will children figure it out? Most children in the age group up till 12 do not have complex thinking capabilities. And at around the adolescence age, complex thinking starts to develop. But even that requires a lot of direction, input, channelizing. Along with that, the hormonal issues and the behavioral issues and societal adjustment issues of growing up that adolescence phase sometimes can be multiple volcanoes that the adolescent is dealing with. Again, it's a magical thinking that parents have if parents think children will figure it out, children need guidance. Again, when parents say, I hope my child improves and does better without really doing anything or putting in structured effort. Again, this is magical thinking. If you're not going to change the method, if you're not going to give additional structure or guidance or important or the help of an expert, how will the child change and improve? Just praying is not going to help. Yes, it helps to pray and create the right energies, but along with that there needs to be a lot of effort for the results to come out. Again, when I hear parents say there is no need to control the child will self-regulate when the time comes. What is that time which will come, and when will the child learn self-regulation? Parents need to realize that child has to have the right recording of instructions and parental ego state in its head, which means how parents set the rules and guidelines and structures for the child to self-regulate. Self-regulation that a child learns is actually induced discipline that the parents have taught the child. That's how the child gets to self-regulate. Otherwise, it's not going to figure it out. And if you are thinking that the child is going to make mistakes, and that's another magical thinking, my child will learn, because every child learns by making mistake. I also learned by making mistakes. Now, if you did not have guidance, if you learned by making mistakes, why are you making the child fall down? Unnecessarily. And I'm not talking about small little mistakes here and there that you should let the child make, but big blunders about career, about studies, about friendships, about relationships, about emotions, so many things. These, my friends, are misplaced judgments. It's pseudo psychology, or what we also term as grandmother psychology. It is parenting using notions and beliefs, and there is no science in this. So I'm going to invite you to not live in some fantasy. Parenting is a full-time job. Your child is your responsibility. And exactly like if you were a professional, or if you're a business person, or if you are an academician, or whatever your life career is, if you have to write a detailed report, that detailing of the report is exactly how parenting is. You have to go, find out the right things, put the right structures, and look at every single aspect of that report before that report is professionally acceptable. So, how do you go about parenting? If you have to let go of your magical thinking, here are a few things that you need to come across, or rather do. Number one, you have to learn and discover what is happening to your child according to its age appropriate challenges. So what is a child of 5-year-old think? What is a child of 5 years thinking? What is a child of 8 years thinking and going through? What are the challenges that a 10-year-old is is going through. Now, some of these learnings are going to come from popular literature, researchers who have done a lot of benchmarking and work, but it's also definitely going to come from continuously talking to your child and working with the child to figure things out. But the first and the foremost thing that any and every parent needs to do is learn how to parent with respect to that specific age where its child is, and always keep learning. So in a way, if you have a child and let's say the child is 2-year-old right now, you have another 15-20 years of learning about parenting at each of those stages and managing various challenges along with your child. That's why I say parenting is a full-time job. Don't take your eyes off it, and don't parent in a notional way. Now, this may sound to be too big, but it's not as big as it sounds, but it's also not as simple as you may be making it out to be today. Yes, there are complexities, but once you are in the flow of this, there is a lot that you are learning today which will still be applicable tomorrow. But over a period of time, you will need to continuously learn to be a relevant parent. I'm not talking about becoming a better parent. I'm talking here being a relevant parent so that then you can be an effective parent. A parent who is not relevant cannot be effective. And if a parent is not effective, then the parent is not parenting. So learn and become relevant and be effective as a parent. The second thing that you need to work on, and I'll give you 4 words to work with: relationship, discovery, solution, and support. So what do you need to do? You need to build and bond with your child. No matter where your relationship is today, your number one job is to be the best friend, mentor, and the parent that you are. Not just be the parent, but you also have to be a friend and a mentor. Sometimes you also have to be a hands-off observer of your child. Whichever way, you need to work on that relationship with the child. If your child is not coming to you as the first option, then there is a problem. And this is where you need to understand many children in our times and in today's times and across all times have learned very informally from friends and other circles and influences, and earlier there used to be books and magazines. Now there is internet from where they are learning, whereas actually they should have learned and bonded with their parents. So build the relationship with your child, not just as a parent, but as a mentor, as a guide, as a friend, and also as a hands-off observer. With that relationship, what do you do? With that relationship, discover things in your child's life. What is your child thinking? What is your child going through? What are your child's pressures? Where is it that the child doesn't have answers? All of that. And the learning that I spoke about earlier, that learning needs to then be used with the discovery that you're making about the child's life to create solutions. Now, you don't need to solve everything in your child's life, but you need to solve those crucial things that the child is not capable of. If the child is capable of something, then all you need to do is give it support. But if the child doesn't have the understanding or the wherewithal to solve a challenge, you need to help with it. Like the child is not getting along with certain people in school, or it is confused about relationships or feelings or about growing or adolescence. It's not able to succeed in academics or succeed in sports or music. Then you need to step in and find a solution. Like, let's say, for example, your child is scoring up to 60 or 65 marks, but it's not able to get into 80 or 90. The child may not have the wherewithal to solve those issues. You need to step in and find out how to unlock the child. Many parents put too much of pressure on school and tutors, etc., to solve their child's issue. They may not have the time and the empathy to do that. That's why you need to step in. So, going over it again, bond with the child as a parent, as a friend, as an observer, as a guide. Discover things in the child's life. Use the learnings that you have as a parent to create solutions and support the child. That's the second major strategy that you need to have. The third major thing to counter magical thinking is understand that your child needs both structure and dynamics. Structure are things like discipline of a timetable, a routine, rules, certain non-negotiables that the child cannot violate, certain areas where you are very clear with the child that we as parents will make the decisions for you, and certain areas where you say you can make your own decisions as you grow up. And even in those areas where you are today making decisions, slowly you have to ease out your control and allow the child's adult state to emerge and to help the child to make decisions as the child learns. All of this is how you manage dynamics. You need to have ground rules while being flexible on certain things. You need to have strictness but also use love. You need to have a lot of regulated guidance and directional push, whereas you also need to be gentle and compassionate with your child, and that's how structure and dynamics are worked on. Some of the basis of structure is rules and non-negotiable, and the basis of dynamics is flexibility, love, compassion, etc. towards the child. That's the third major thing that you have to do. So, if you are a parent who also has magical thinking and without really making that effort or putting in the structure, you're thinking that the child will come up to the best of its potential, no, it will not. The reason why you need to get in, learn, the reason why you need to build the relationship, discover, solve and support for the child, the reason why you need structure and dynamics is so that the potential that your child has is fully developed and the child doesn't waste time, resources, and also its self-concept develops in the right way. Basically, you're teaching the child to come up and be likable in this world by others, and also to have success behaviors. This is your full-time job. Don't engage in magical thinking. The lack of structure and dynamics is actually harming your child. Only you as a parent can ensure this.